In the previous video, you saw me change the color of the rows and the cells and the columns as well. So we're going to take a little bit more time with that. I also want to show you how you can resize within spreadsheets. So let's start with that. As you can see here, some of my names are cut off, or some of my information is shortened to where you can't really see it within the cell that's been designated for that information. So there's a couple of ways that you can make that change. The first is if you just want to change one row or one column, you can go between the two and then click and drag to lengthen or shrink that particular column. And it works the same for rows as well. So if I put my mouse between the two rows and I stretch it, it's going to change just that one row. What if I want to make a big change just all at once? I want everything just to be adjusted quickly. You can click in this little box and then double click one of the columns or rows and it will adjust automatically. So you saw there I did a double click. Let me show you again. So if I put my mouse between the two and I click 2 times, it's going to adjust so that everything fits perfectly on all of the rows or columns. And I'm going to do the same thing here. If I double click, it's going to fit so that it all fits nicely. But you may not want that. Maybe you actually want it to be bigger. You can do that as well when you have it selected. If I click on one of my rows or columns and either stretch it out or shrink it, it will adjust everything for me. So that's the rows, this is the columns. So it gives you an idea of how that looks. And then I'm going to double click again just to bring everything back to the size it needs to be. Now I want to take some time to show you how you can color in your data. So maybe I want to color in this column. I click and drag over the information, come up to the paint bucket, and select the color I want. And I can do that for rows as well. Or I can just choose a particular cell and change that color. Oops, I chose the text color. Didn't mean to do that. I can pick a different color for this particular cell. That is how you can adjust your cells, your rows, and also color code. Another feature that's very popular is adding border. So when you print this, it shows the border of everything and it's not just white lines. To add in the borders, select the text and information that you want to have a border. And then you don't necessarily have to have a text. Like if you want the border to come down further, you can. Go up to the menu bar and select the borders option and then select all borders. This will select everything and it will add a border around everything. I also want to point out that you can change the color of your border and you can change the style of your lines if you want to on the border as well. So you have some different options there. And so that is how you can add a border and how to adjust your cells within your spreadsheet. Now let's talk about your text within your spreadsheet. You can make adjustments of the size, color, what it looks like, the font style, etc. So I'm going to select the names just by clicking and dragging. And then I can come up here to the font and I can make a change of the font, the size of the font, and I can bold it or I can make it not bold. It's up to you. Italics, font color is available as well. So all of those choices can be done if you click and drag. They can also be done individually. So maybe I want to change the size of this one, this grade, and I want to bold it, and maybe I want to make it red. So you have some different options in there as well. I'll show you in another video how you can do what's called conditional formatting. So if you want to pull out and make all grades below a 70 red, I'll show you how to do that through conditional formatting.